Love and Hip Hop just went from drama to complete devastation. In a shocking twist, Mendeecees has blown the lid off Kirk Frost's carefully guarded life, exposing not just his past with Jasmine, but an alleged secret affair with Kendra that no one saw coming. As Rasheeda crumbles under the weight of betrayal, alliances are shattering. Friendships are burning and the entire cast is spiraling. This isn't just gossip. This could destroy everything. Love and Hip Hop just exploded with drama nobody saw coming. And this time, it's not the usual petty arguments or social media shade. This scandal cuts deep into the foundation of relationships that fans thought were solid. And the one person at the center of it all is Mendeecees Harris. He's been known as the quiet businessman of the franchise, usually minding his own business. But this week, he came out swinging with shocking accusations that could ruin Kirk Frost's entire reputation and send Rasheeda spiraling into heartbreak all over again. It all started during what was supposed to be a casual, off-camera dinner between a few cast members. According to insiders, Mendeecees was in a reflective mood and started venting about the hypocrisy he's been seeing among the men in their circle. That's when he dropped the bomb. He claimed Kirk had been living a double life for years. And not just the public affair with Jasmine that almost ended his marriage to Rasheeda. Mendeecees claimed Kirk also had a secret on-and-off fling with none other than Kendra Young Jock's wife. The moment he said it, the room reportedly went silent. Everyone knew the drama between Kirk and Jasmine had rocked Rasheeda to her core years ago. But no one ever imagined he would betray another friend by allegedly getting involved with someone else's wife. And this wasn't just gossip whispered over cocktails. Mendeecees said he had receipts, cryptic texts, late-night DMs, and private hotel bookings that didn't line up with Kirk's public travel schedule. One insider who witnessed the conversation said you could tell Mendeecees wasn't joking. He looked disgusted. He kept saying, "This man is out here judging everybody else while he's been doing the worst." The fallout was immediate. Word traveled fast back to Rasheeda, and if you've followed her journey on the show, you know she's fought tooth and nail to keep her marriage intact after Kirk's public cheating scandal with Jasmine. It nearly destroyed her. Rasheeda's breakdown back then was raw, emotional, and public. So hearing that there might be another layer to Kirk's betrayal hit her like a punch to the chest. Sources close to her revealed that she locked herself in her office and refused to speak to Kirk for days. One even said she was sobbing, shaking, and saying she can't do this again. Meanwhile, social media exploded as soon as whispers of the allegation leaked. Fans flooded the comment sections of Rasheeda's recent posts, urging her to walk away and telling her she deserves peace. Many even dragged Kirk all over again, calling him the most unfaithful man in reality TV history. And then, things got even more chaotic when Kendra's name got pulled into the fire. Kendra, who has carefully maintained her image as a loyal wife and smart attorney, was reportedly furious when she heard her name was being tied to Kirk. She immediately called out Mendeecees behind the scenes, demanding he retract what he said. But according to a source, Mendeecees stood firm. He told her he wasn't trying to destroy her reputation, he just couldn't sit back and watch Rasheeda live in a lie anymore. And let's not forget, young Jack isn't exactly known for being calm when it comes to his relationships. People close to him say he was absolutely livid when the rumor hit his phone. Jock allegedly confronted Kirk directly. And while we don't know exactly what was said, the tension was so high that producers reportedly had to intervene before it escalated. This isn't just petty gossip anymore. This is threatening to blow apart friendships, marriages, and the whole balance of the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast. Mendeecees, on his side, seemed unbothered by the backlash. In fact, he doubled down in a cryptic post on Instagram where he wrote, "Truth sets you free, even if it sets everything else on fire." Fans immediately linked it to the Kirk situation and flooded his comments with support, saying they respected him for being brave enough to speak up. But others accused him of stirring the pot for clout, especially since his own marriage to Yandi has had its fair share of public drama. But what makes this mess even wilder is the timing. Rasheeda and Kirk were reportedly planning a vow renewal ceremony for next year to celebrate surviving their rocky past. According to people close to them, Rasheeda had already been looking at dresses in scouting venues. Now, that dream might be shattered before it even begins. Insiders say she's seriously questioning everything and wondering if she ever really knew the man she's been with for decades. This scandal has cracked open old wounds that Rasheeda never fully healed from. On the show, she's often said that while she forgave Kirk for cheating with Jasmine and fathering a child outside their marriage, she never forgot how deeply it broke her. Seeing her relive that trauma now has been heartbreaking for those who know her personally. One insider even claimed Rasheeda said, "I can't survive another betrayal. I'll lose myself completely this time." And while all of this chaos unfolds, Jasmine, yes, the same Jasmine who had Kirk's baby, is quietly watching it all from the sidelines. She hasn't spoken publicly yet, but some sources claim she's been privately telling people she's not surprised and that Kirk has always had wandering. If Jasmine decides to speak out, this drama could take an even darker turn, especially if she confirms what Mendeecees is saying. The tension is building fast, and producers are reportedly scrambling to figure out how to handle it on camera. They know this storyline is explosive, but they also know it could destroy relationships for good. And behind the scenes, Rasheeda is said to be teetering between rage and despair, while Kirk is allegedly begging her to trust him and calling Mendeecees a liar trying to break up happy homes. But if Mendeecees really does have receipts, the alleged texts, hotel bookings, and private messages, Kirk's denials won't matter for long. Once the truth comes out, this could end not just a marriage but also Kirk's carefully rebuilt public image. This is only the beginning of the storm. As the dust from Mendeecees' shocking confession settled, the Love and Hip Hop cast struggled to process the chaos. What began as whispers had erupted into an all-out firestorm, and the ripple effect was hitting everyone, especially Rasheeda. The once steady foundation of her marriage to Kirk Frost was now cracking in real time, and cameras caught every painful second of her unraveling. Backstage, Rasheeda was pacing with tears streaming down her face, clutching her phone like it was the only thing holding her together. Producers tried to coax her into taking a break, but she refused. "No," she muttered, voice shaking. "If everyone's gonna talk about my life, then I'm gonna be the one to tell it." Meanwhile, Kendra was on the defensive. Social media had exploded with old photos of her and Kirk together at events, images fans were now dissecting for any sign of flirtation or secret signals. She took to Instagram Live to deny everything, but her words only fueled the frenzy. "I have never had any kind of affair with Kirk Frost," she said sharply. People love to drag a woman's name through the mud when a man can't keep his past in check. "This is not on me." But Mendeecees wasn't backing down. In a follow-up interview, he doubled down on his claim, insisting he had personally seen messages between Kirk and Kendra from years ago. "I ain't here to ruin nobody's home," he said coolly, "but the truth gotta be told. Too many people have been lying for too long. I saw it. I know what it was." That statement was like gasoline on a fire. Fans flooded comment sections with accusations, theories, and screenshots. Some believed Mendeecees was simply trying to deflect from his own crumbling marriage, while others were convinced he was finally exposing the hypocrisy that's haunted Kirk and Rasheeda's relationship for years. Jasmine, meanwhile, reemerged with her own bombshell. After months of silence, she broke her silence with a cryptic post. "Funny how the same people who called me a liar are now getting caught." The timing was unmistakable, and it sent Rasheeda spiraling further. Rasheeda had worked for years to rebuild her marriage after Kirk's infamous cheating scandal with Jasmine nearly tore them apart. They'd gone to counseling, aired their issues on national television, and portrayed a united front. To hear now that there may have been yet another secret, this time involving Kendra, someone Rasheeda had considered a friend, was almost too much to bear. Producers reportedly debated shutting down filming for the day as Rasheeda sobbed uncontrollably in her dressing room. One insider claimed she screamed, "I gave him everything. Everything. And he keeps making me look stupid. Meanwhile, Kirk stayed eerily quiet. While everyone around him was scrambling to defend themselves or launch counterattacks, Kirk was nowhere to be seen. He turned off his phone, skipped scheduled filming, and refused to issue any public statement. That silence only made him look more guilty in the eyes of fans. Mendeecees, sensing the shift, pushed even harder. He hinted there was more to come, teasing that what he had revealed so far was just the surface. The implication was clear. Kirk or anyone else tried to discredit him. He was prepared to release even more damaging evidence. Kendra, now caught in the crossfire, grew increasingly frustrated. "This isn't fair," she told producers off camera. "I've worked too hard to build my reputation to have it trashed over something that's not true. Mendeecees is trying to burn the whole house down. And I'm not gonna let him take me with it." Back at the set, Yandi tried to calm Rasheeda down, but even she was visibly shaken. While she tried to console Rasheeda, she also couldn't ignore the fact that her own husband was the one who detonated this bombshell. Cameras caught Yandi whispering, "You don't understand. I didn't know he was going to say any of that. I swear I didn't." For Rasheeda, though, it was too late. Trust already fragile had been shattered once again. "I can't even look at him right now," she told the crew, her voice hoarse from crying. "How am I supposed to stand next to him on set like everything's fine when all this is coming out? As if things couldn't get worse." More alleged screenshots began circulating online, showing old flirty messages supposedly between Kirk and Kendra. While their authenticity couldn't be confirmed, the damage was already done. Fans flooded Rasheeda's socials, begging her to finally walk away from Kirk. The emotional toll was written all over her face. Once composed and resilient, Rasheeda now looked like she was breaking in slow motion. "She's not herself," one crew member admitted privately. "It's like she's just empty." And while Rasheeda crumbled, Mendeecees seemed oddly at peace. He had stirred a storm, yes, but he stood by his actions, telling a confidant, "Sometimes you gotta pull the curtain back so people can see what's really been going on. Ain't no more pretending." Behind the scenes, though, there was growing concern about where this was headed. Legal teams began hovering around the set, worried about defamation claims or potential lawsuits if the accusations weren't backed up with hard proof. But the court of public opinion had already made its judgment stand. Kirk's reputation was taking the biggest hit as night fell on the set. Rasheeda finally walked out of her dressing room. Makeup streaked down her cheeks, shoulders slumped. She didn't speak a word to anyone. She just grabbed her bag and left. The crew stood in stunned silence, unsure if she would even come back. This wasn't just a reality TV drama anymore. It had crossed into real lives, real marriages, and real heartbreak, and no one could see how it would ever go back to normal. The following morning, the energy around the Love and Hip Hop set was eerily quiet, almost like the calm after a natural disaster. Everyone knew the confrontation was coming. Rasheeda had made it clear the night before that if Kirk wanted their marriage to survive, he would have to face her and answer everything. No more silence. No more disappearing. Producers whispered nervously as Kirk finally arrived. He wore dark glasses, a hoodie pulled low, and kept his head down. The man who had once strutted through sets with unshakable confidence now moved like a shadow of himself. He walked past the crew without a word and went straight into the soundstage where Rasheeda was waiting. She was sitting upright in a chair under the harsh glow of the set lights, her expression cold, unreadable. The moment he sat across from her, the tension was suffocating. "You disappeared when I needed you the most," Rasheeda said quietly, her voice trembling but controlled. "You let the whole world drag me while you hid. Why?" Kirk removed his glasses and set them on the table. For the first time, his eyes showed just how exhausted he was. "Because I didn't know what to say," he admitted. "Because everything I say gets twisted. Because..." He paused, looking down at his hands. "Because maybe I didn't want to face you like this." Rasheeda's composure cracked, her eyes filling with tears. "You think this is about facing me? This is about honesty, Kirk. Again, after everything we went through with Jasmine. After all the counseling? After all the public humiliation. You promised me there would be no more secrets. And now Mendeecees is saying there's more. And you just go silent. Do you know what that does to me? The words hung in the air like smoke. Kirk rubbed his face, visibly crumbling. I didn't have an affair with Kendra, he said firmly, almost desperately. I swear on everything. We were cool, we were friends, we hung out at events, but it was nothing more. I don't know why Mendeecees is saying this, but it's not true. Rasheeda stared at him, searching his face for any flicker of a lie. Then why would he lie? She asked. Why now? What's his reason to blow up our lives if it's not true? I don't know, Kirk said. Maybe he's trying to distract from his own mess. Maybe he's just trying to start chaos. You know, he and Yandi have been going through stuff. Maybe he wants the attention off them. But I swear I never touched Kendra. It might have been the truth. It might not have been. But after years of betrayal, Rasheeda couldn't tell anymore. That was the real wound, not knowing what to believe. You broke that trust, Kirk, she said, her voice cracking. And you never built it back. Not really. I wanted to believe we fixed things. But maybe I was just lying to myself. Before Kirk could respond, the studio doors slammed open. Mendeecees walked in with a producer trailing behind him, trying unsuccessfully to stop him. Nah, let me talk, he said sharply, since everybody wants to act like I'm just making stuff up. Rasheeda stiffened. Kirk clenched his jaw. Mendeecees pulled out his phone and tapped the screen, pulling up a series of blurry screenshots. This right here is from back in 2019, he said, holding the screen toward them. Kendra was texting Kirk late at night, talking about I miss how you used to make me laugh. Okay? And we shouldn't let what happened mess up our friendship. And this, he swiped. This is Kirk responding. We've just got to be careful this time. Rasheeda's stomach lurched. Her hands trembled as she looked at the images. Kirk shot back immediately. That doesn't prove anything. That's cropped. That's taken out of context. Y'all don't know what the full conversation was about. It could have been anything. Then show the rest, Mendeecees challenged. Clear your name. 'Cause until you do, people gon' believe what they see, and what they see is shady. The room went silent. Rasheeda looked at Kirk, waiting. But he didn't move. He didn't pull out his phone. He didn't even speak. And that silence was louder than anything. Tears spilled down Rasheeda's cheeks. She stood up, her voice trembling but powerful. I can't do this anymore, she said. I've spent too many years cleaning up your messes, defending you while you leave me out here to drown. I've been loyal to a man who's made me look like a fool over and over again. And now I don't even recognize who I am anymore. Kirk rose to his feet, reaching for her. Rasheeda, please don't, she snapped, stepping back. Just don't? She walked out, heels clicking on the concrete floor, leaving Kirk standing there hollow and speechless. Mendeecees exhaled sharply, almost satisfied, but Yandi's voice cut through the room from behind the cameras. You didn't have to do it like this, she said, her tone heavy with disappointment. You could have told her privately. You didn't have to blow her world up on TV. You didn't have to blow her world up on TV. Mendeecees turned to her, eyes cold. Secrets only survive in the dark. I'm done letting people pretend. With that, he left too, leaving the set in ruins, not physically, but emotionally. The aftermath was brutal. Hours later, Rasheeda posted a single message to her Instagram stories. Sometimes peace means walking away from everything you once fought for. Fans flooded her comments with support, urging her to put herself first, to finally let go of Kirk and focus on her own healing. Meanwhile, Kirk stayed silent, not posting or commenting. His once loyal fan base now turning on him with anger and betrayal. Behind the scenes, producers scrambled to decide how to handle the fallout. They'd wanted drama, yes, but not like this. This was real heartbreak, real families crumbling, real lives being torn apart. For Rasheeda, though, there was no going back. Something inside her had shifted. The woman who once fought tooth and nail to save her marriage was gone. What remained was someone broken, but determined to finally protect herself. The future of her relationship and the entire love and hip-hop dynamic now hung in the balance. And if what Mendeecees hinted was true, there may still be more secrets lurking in the shadows. Waiting to shatter what little is left, Rasheeda's world has been turned upside down. And now, her future with Kirk hangs by a thread. Do you think she should finally walk away for good, or fight to rebuild what's left? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss what happens next. Because this story is far from over.